to grab the bell. We can see what's going on Wall Street. It's been an interesting day, to say the least. The good news is most of the indices were up. The Dow is down. At one point, it's down 200-300 points. Ends up down only about 60 points. S&P up 24. It's a nice move of the S&P. Nasdaq also up, meaning both of those have hit record territory. Both of those have been very, very good across the board. Oil, earlier I saw it up a touch, and yet it's about $62 a barrel. Gold was strong again. Yet another strong day for gold, up $78 to the ounce, really approaching the $4,000 per ounce level for the first time ever. And you're going to like the guys in the control room are going to like this silver just ripping at $48. $48 for silver. Amazing, amazing. And then crypto. I'm watching it all night. I'm watching Bitcoin trade 122, 123, 124, 125. We got almost, we breached the 126,000 level in Bitcoin. That's great news. Ethereum, 4720, very, very strong. Solana up, CRO up. All righty, folks, Americans, we're watching the justice system with growing concern. Remember, we watched Donald Trump being treated the lawfare by the left. Did he clean it up? He got in there. He wants to change things, and they are. But we're watching it with growing concern. From Washington to Wall Street to the heart of Texas, more and more people are asking the same question. Is the law still blind? You know what that means? You know, on that little scale where Lady Liberty, Lady Law is blind because you're not supposed, it doesn't matter who you are, it should be treated equally. Or has the law become a political weapon? One long-running bankruptcy case we want to talk about may hold the answer. The case involves Highland Capital Management, a Dallas-based investment firm that once managed billions upon billions of dollars. 6 years ago, Highland entered bankruptcy after a $100 million arbitration dispute. Since then, more than $850 million has been paid out. $850 million paid out. The company remains solvent, yet the bankruptcy drags on, generating over $260 million in fees, lawyers' fees likely, and professional fees and expenses. Many Americans see this as a system completely out of control, one that punishes those who play by the rules while rewarding those who manipulate the rules. Think Lawfare, think Trump. They point to what's happened to Highland's founder, James Dondero, a man pushed out of the company he built from the very ground up. Even a $300 million charitable investment fund created through Highland has been dismantled. Its assets redirected through a maze of settlements and legal rulings that few can even follow anymore. At the center of the controversy is the U.S. bankruptcy judge. Her name is Stacey Jernigan. She was appointed in 2006. She's faced sharp criticism for writing and selling novels that portray hedge fund managers in harsh, fictionalized terms, the same types of figures appearing before her in court. So she's judging these cases with subjects, plaintiffs, defendants, who are the same people she's writing negative books about. Legal observers say that the blur between the line between art and impartiality raises serious questions about whether personal opinions have influenced judicial decisions, especially there. Attorney Michael Edney of Hunton Andrews Kurth says, "We're urging the court to adopt rules that ensure the perception and the reality of an impartial judiciary. A judge should not simultaneously preside over cases and write books portraying the industries and litigants before her in a negative light. It just doesn't work." Across the country, Americans are seeing lengthy, high-cost legal campaigns that appear to push political outsiders or business leaders who don't fit the establishment mode. It pushes them into a corner. They see it in the courtroom and the battles involving former presidents. Hello, Trump. And they see echoes of it in cases like Highland's, where process itself becomes the punishment. You can wipe people out by just keeping them in the process. They have to defend themselves. Lawyers cost a ton of money. That's what this case is really. It's raising these grave questions, including whether insiders traded on non-public information, whether mandatory financial disclosures were ignored, and whether sweeping legal releases insulated powerful players from accountability. If those allegations prove true, it would mark one of the most expensive and politically charged bankruptcies in modern history. For millions of Americans who've already lost faith in the fairness of the courts, Highland stands as a symbol of what happens when power and politics replace transparency and, more importantly, justice. For many, it's not about one businessman or one company. It's about the principle of fairness itself, a justice system that can bankrupt the solvent, silence dissent, and protect insiders is a system that ordinary citizens can no longer trust. The Highland Capital case is still moving through the courts, but the implications reach far beyond any one firm. Many Americans now believe that without real transparency and accountability, confidence in our justice system will continue to erode. When any courtroom can appear political, no matter who's on trial or who's on the bench, every citizen's rights are at risk. Restoring faith in the rule of law isn't a partisan goal. It shouldn't be. It's an American one. The first step, many say, is demanding a system that's truly fair and impartial and accountability to those people it serves. Blind justice, it's called, folks. Heartland in Texas. My first guest was a TV anchor for the ABC affiliate in Illinois. When she learned of Charlie Kirk's assassination, she went on to give a heartfelt, nonpartisan tribute to Charlie Kirk. Take a look.
Tuning into Marketplace today. So I want to talk about something for a minute, and it is heavy, so please bear with me. I want you to know that it's okay if you feel sadness. It's okay if you're grieving. 2 days ago, I lost a mentor, my first boss, the first person who made me believe in myself, that encouraged me to chase this dream that you're watching right now. Charlie Kirk. There's a lot going on in our world right now, in our country. But I want to say one thing. Lean on your neighbors. Speak up for what you believe in. I don't care what it is. I want to share with you one of my favorite sayings that Charlie would always tell us at the office. He would yell it from the mountaintops, so please listen. When conversations stop happening, when individuals become wordless, that's when violence begins. So if you do one thing today, make it be with passion, with conviction. Stand up for your friends, stand up for your beliefs, and speak loudly, even if your voice shakes. Your words have meaning, your values have purpose. Never forget that. Thank you, CK. You changed my life.
Well, right after that newscast, she was suspended by the company. She decided she wasn't going to take that, and she resigned, which is fortunate because she's now part of our RAV team. Welcome, Bennie Rae Harmony. Bennie, really good to have you. Why do you think your previous network, well, by the way, which affiliate was that? Was it an NBC affiliate? Who was the affiliate? It was ABC. Was ABC affiliate?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And so you come off the set with that heartfelt, emotional plea to think about Charlie Kirk, and tell us what happened.
So I came out of the studio, and Eric, it was almost a Holy Spirit moment. When I was walking to the studio that day, something inside of me almost told me that this was going to be my last walk to the studio. But I just felt this overwhelming sense of peace in this idea that it wasn't planned. There was no plan to this. And when I got behind that desk and I knew that red light turned on and it was time for me to talk, I couldn't not say anything. For the 2 days before that, I was visibly upset, and viewers even noticed it. People were reaching out saying, "Are you okay? What's wrong? Something going on?" And I felt it was my duty to tell my viewers what was happening and the importance that Charlie Kirk played in my life. But when I was leaving the studio that day, I did feel liberated, and I felt like I said my piece, and I spoke truth, and that was all that mattered to me in that moment, was honoring and highlighting someone that meant a lot to me. And the events that occurred after that, I was not expecting.
Well, tell us, because you went viral with that. People saw it, they clipped it, they shared it, we all shared it. And we thought it was terrible that they suspended you. So when you resigned, would they try and stop you from resigning, or were they all right with it?
Yeah, so it was that Friday. My show was 11 to 12, and so that was in the last bit of the 11 o'clock hour. And so after the show, I actually had a shoot where I had to go interview some people, and I turned my phone on Do Not Disturb, and it pinged. I got a message from my direct supervisor who said, "Are you in the building? Can you please come speak to me?" And I said, "I'm not there at the moment, but I will when I get back." I went into his office. He informed me that all he said was, "You need to delete that video you just posted." And I was like, I post everything. I'm very active on social media. I said, post what video or delete what video? Literally from my show, you want me to delete that? I post everything from the show. And he said, yes. And I said, okay, can you tell me why? He said, I don't know why. He goes, I was just told to tell you that you need to remove that video or there will be consequences. And I said, well, I'm not removing a video from my personal page. So let me know what our general manager, decides, because I'm not deleting it. So the weekend happened. I go in first thing on Monday morning. My direct supervisor, he reaches out to me and he says, can you come into my office again? And I'm fully glammed. I'm fully ready to go on air. And my direct supervisor says, you are not having a show today. You are off air until further notice. He said, I don't have any details. All I know is that you're not to have a show today because you wouldn't delete that video. And when he said that to me, in that moment, all I could feel was Charlie. And I kept thinking, what would Charlie do? And he would stand up and say, I'm not standing for this. We're not doing this. I wasn't going to wait for the punishment to happen, because in 2 to 3 days, I most likely would have been fired. There's a lot more internally at that station, Rincon Broadcasting, than what has been said. And I've purposely stayed pretty quiet about everything because I'm not really sure how I want to handle it. There's some really dirty and corrupt stuff happening there.
Interesting. We can get into it. Maybe you come back and we'll dig in.
I'll be back, Eric.
Well, yeah. Here's how it works, folks. So this is an ABC affiliate, which means ABC is kind of responsible for the content of what the owners, the actual station owners and operators, O&O, owners and operator of the station. So Rincon is an ABC owner and operator. ABC owns the actual intellectual property. Disney owns ABC. Bob Iger, same guy who put Jimmy Kimmel back on air after what he said about Charlie Kirk as well. So you got a problem, folks watching. Talk to Disney, talk to Bob Iger, talk to ABC, and talk to Rincon Broadcasting. Very quickly, you're in D.C. with Rav. Tell us what you're going to be doing.
So I am going to be a congressional correspondent. I'll be helping Brian Glenn at the White House as well. So you all will be seeing a lot more of me in the political atmosphere and just right here in our beautiful, amazing, clean and safe Capitol. I needed to say that, Eric, because this is the first time I've been back for a couple of years now, and I can see great changes, and I'm looking forward to being on the ground right here with Rav. Well,
welcome to the Rav community. Thank you for your time, Bennie Rae Harmony, and we will see you again very, very soon. Thank you. All righty, folks, let me be blunt. Gold up almost 50% this year alone. Not speculation. That's real data, real hard numbers. And if a portion of your savings isn't diversified into gold, well, you're missing the boat. Here are the facts. Inflation is still too high. The U.S. dollar still too weak and getting weaker, and the government debt is insurmountable, $37 trillion. This is why central banks are the ones flocking to buy gold. They're the ones driving prices up to record highs, but it's not too late to buy gold from Birch Gold Group and get in the door now. Birch Gold will help you convert an existing IRA or 401k into a tax-sheltered IRA in gold. You don't pay a dime out of your pocket. Just text America to 989898 and claim that free info kit. No obligation, just useful information. The best indicator of the future is the past, and gold has historically been a safe haven forever, for a millennia. What else can we say about that? Text America, that word America, to 989898 right now to claim your free info kit on gold. That's America, 989898. Protect your future today with the only group in gold you got to do this with, Birch Gold Group, folks. All right, we will be back 2.5 minutes.
In commemoration of the 250th anniversary of the birth of the United States Navy.
It is really jaw-dropping. Thank God I'm an American.
Bo, is the military getting weak? The answer is no.
This is about unity.
Morale here is great.
We couldn't be more thrilled and excited to be here today.
God bless the United States of America. And go Navy, beat Army.
fight, fight, fight. We will win, win, win. Congratulations once again on 250 years of total dominance. Stay strong. Thank you. God bless our sailors, and God bless the United States of America. Thank you very much, everybody.
Real America's Voice was the go-to place today. Thank you guys for doing this.